It's v.h.s.x? What do you mean?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're playing Ghostface and we're being sent to the Eyrie of Crows, and I decided to drop in with a post-commentary style video to hopefully provide some educational content for anybody who's learning Ghostface as a P100 Ghostface main myself, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the breakdown. So the build is as follows. You got Spirit Fury, Endurance, Brutal Strength, Surge with the Walleyes matchbook and the wallet add-on. Now off the bat we notice that we spawn pretty close to the survivors. I'm gonna just jump right in. It's a pretty interesting start to the game, so we want to jump right in as soon as possible. We have everybody around the area. We go for the M1 on the Elodie, but here's the strategy, because we're rotating around. We're trying to see if we can maybe get the down around the area, get Surge, but they decided to lie the way two back to the side that we wanted to go anyway. So we decided, let's switch over to the other survivor on that generator, and we get an M1 on them as well, right? So then the idea is we try to go back again. And we go over here, boom. Try to start marking up this Michaela. We don't actually want to get the M1 just yet. We do at least go for a little bit for the mind game, and we're just continuing to follow her so that we can get a little bit more stalking, get a resource out if possible. She does go for that, the pallet fake there, which was unnecessary. Either she would have gotten the stun and I would have broken the pallet, gotten that out the way, or I would have been able to mark her up as I did. So she's 99 by now, and then that's when I rotate back to go ahead and break the generator. And I was able to prevent at least maybe 1 to 2 gens from being completed by being able to sort of split off between the survivors and get pressure that way. So just to quickly touch on just the build, Spirit Fury Enduring is a great combo with Brutal Strength, allowing you to quickly get your power back, because you can just break the pallet and get the wallet add-on to activate. We're also noticing that there's a survivor trying to greet the gen. We knock them down and get damage and Surge, and as we pick up, we get hit with a silent flashbang. Now this is a bug that I think is going around, that there is no sound when they're dropping flashbangs in certain areas. Not entirely sure as to why, but that is a common thing that's happening. Now while I was blinded, I was making sure I was breaking the pallet, and then we immediately get the down again, get another hit of Surge on that generator, allowing for more regression. I look up preemptively now after that, and then we continue to go for the hook. Flashbangs in general are not really counterable at all, unless you specifically run Lightborn. You're not going to be able to counter them, especially because there isn't really like, you can face a wall and try to not see the light, obviously, and you'll still end up getting blinded. So that's a bit unfortunate. He tried to drop a flashbang as he left the area there. I did just dodge it, and I had also broken the pallet and immediately marked him. I lunged so I can get stunned by Spirit Fury. By the pallet to get Spirit Fury to activate. We get Surge so that we can then damage the gen. We turn back around and then try to go for the hook that's nearest this generator and try to shift the pressure to this side, because we know that this is the gen they want to work on. We're able to defend the generator and the survivor on the hook at the same time. And as you can see, they're knocking out the gens pretty efficiently, so that's why we need to hold down a little area here. Now what we're trying to do, the idea here is you want to try to go for the on that survivor. That was what I was trying to do, to try to get them, which, as you can see, they're just standing there doing nothing. I'm not going to waste my M1, my marking on an M1, because as you can see here, now I can mark her up now, allowing for more pressure. He's going in for the base kit, Endurance off of hook for the body block. We're not gonna hit that. We're gonna break the pallet to get her power back. We go to the right hand side and cloak up, follow through there. She'll probably, either if she fakes her vaults, we try to go around. We look to the side for a bit, and then we figure we're gonna switch over to Jake and try to get some Surge. And now here's where I make a mistake, because I knew he had Dead Hard, but instead of waiting it out because there's like two outcomes in that situation. If he decides to dead hard, I'll walk right through the pallet, and he can't just like drop it. I'll just down him. If he does, I can just brutal strength break that pallet, zone him to that corner of the map. He can try to go through the shack, and it would have just been a down. But that was just my mistake. I should have done better there. But we were able to get the down. He was attempting to do this thing where, like, when you go down that staircase, when you drop down, they'll try to run behind you. And that's not good. You have to be mindful of that. I also was able to hear the Michaela making a grunt noise and dropping the flashbang. That's when I had looked up in the air, waited to waited for that flashbang to go off, and then I'll just continue to follow through and get that hook. Now, I figured that I'm walking a little bit too far away from the action. It might have been a bit of a misplay, but on the other hand, I figured I might lose the gens that I want to defend, because if I lose the shack gen, the spread would be way too thin and I won't be able to defend it properly at all. So I figured I would have to let them go, get the save, and then I come back around and defend this generator, because this half of the map, like from that side of main building all the way to shack, is sort of what I had sort of envisioned would be the best area to defend. If I was unable to defend this gen, it would have been spread too thin, because it's already as far as it is. So what I'm trying to do now is sort of get a sight onto Elodie, get her marked up as soon as possible, and then try to get this down on her. We do kind of fake it like we're gonna like back out of the doorway, then we come back in and we get surge on both the generators, allowing us to hit both gens. They're busy healing in main building. We know that. We're just looking up preemptively just in case somehow there's another silent flashbang, and then we place them around the area. So from this position, what I'm trying to do is sort of check on the gens again. I noticed that this gen was just tapped. Surge, we know, already damaged both the gens at the same time, so that means that there's going to be a survivor around the area, for all we know, and that's the idea. Need to figure out where they are. We start marking. It turns out it's Jill. We're marking up the Jill. We mark her completely in order to damage the gens. They'll save from behind me, but I figured I can at least down this one, damage the gen, and then I can sort of rotate back around where they just got the save from, because she doesn't have any hooks and we're at the 2 gen mark, and there's no reason to even hook her at this point, because we're going to waste time doing that. They're going to be able to full heal, reset, do whatever they got to do. We don't want to do that, because we're wasting time. We're giving them a lot of options here. Multitude of reasons. One, she's going to be able to get second chance perks. If she's got them, they're going to activate. So downing her again is going to be even more difficult than it would be normally. Secondly, it takes extra time to go ahead and pick up and find a hook and place them there, and then have to go from that position back to a gen or back to wherever we are. We leave her on the ground instead, save time, and then we can then look around, say either back to main building, which you find that they're on the generator. The 2 spots that they tend to heal is usually either main or shack, so that's why we had to check main. They weren't there, obviously. Now here is going to show the Spirit Fury value. He's marked up, and that's exactly when we can use that. He does try to drop a flashbang as he dies, and we're just able to go for the hook here. Now the idea is, when you have Spirit Fury enduring, you want to use it on survivors that are injured or marked. So you're able to just cut down on the chase time and save a lot of time, because Ghostface doesn't have a chase ability necessarily. You can use his Shroud and chase, like you can activate it to sort of hide your red stain and go for the mind game, but that's not always going to, it's not as good as like an M2 per se, but still. Now, we do 99 to Jill there, she runs off. We want to check this gen again. I do give it a kick, and I decided to mark the Michaela. Now, she's another one that doesn't have any hooks. So we don't want to hook Jill, we don't want to hook Michaela yet. We want to go for the Elodie. We need her to be eliminated before we can even attempt to hook anybody else. And that is for the the strategic aspect of it. Like, you need to sort of be mindful of who's been hooked before. She does end up faking a window there. I just downed her. Now we know she has a flashbang, so I do need to be mindful of that. And I'm assuming that Elodie also has a flashlight from earlier. She does go for the lives, so we just continue to follow through. And that is the idea. We just continue to follow through, and we just try to get a little M1. I didn't have enough time to really try to lean off of the wall and stalk at this point. So I decide just to follow through normally. She's going back toward the area I need her to go. She gives me the pallet, which is fine, and we can just then follow through. Now, we knew from hearing with our headset on, she was going to try to run behind me or try to run away somehow, because that's usually what they do when they attempt a blind. They want to try to run behind you or try to do something to try to gain more distance. I rotate back. They just finished off the heal. I think they just used the med kit, so that's why I mark up Jill, down her instantly. Now here is where I make a massive mistake. I went for the pickup. They were able to drop a flashbang and it instantly went off. Like, it wasn't even, there wasn't a bounce, there wasn't anything I could do. Which I think, I don't know if that was a bug or something, or is somehow, because like flashbangs are supposed to bounce, and then they can activate, but it didn't bounce. So I'm assuming maybe it like hit the staircase and maybe counted as a bounce somehow, but like it even the timing just seemed off to me. So that was a massive misplay. Like, despite the fact that the flashbang was bugged in that instance, it still was a massive misplay. Should have never picked up. Michaela doesn't have hooks, and neither does Jill. It was a waste of time. Shouldn't have done that, especially when they already have all these options in order to get saves. It was just not a good idea. And now, because I did that, now it's allowing for one of them to be healed. So that is a massive misplay. So I do rotate back around to this generator. Jill was decided to, it was never healed. I did wait a second in case they somehow had dead hard, which, like I've said before, they didn't have any hooks. But say I did hook her and she probably did have dead hard, that would have just been even more detrimental to me. Because she just would have dead hard and had endurance, ran off, and then no down, and then no gen regression. And then nobody slug means that there's still 3 people running around and there's nobody having to save anyone, and they can still push a gen even further. So now I'm going ahead and pushing the LED here. Decided to activate Night Shroud while I'm behind the wall, just to try to hide the red stain. And then I follow them around the area, just trying to hide so that they don't know exactly where I'm coming from. And that's ideally what I'm trying to go for. I'm trying to go behind a lot of walls, just trying to come from an angle to push them back to make that vault, because that vault right there is what I wanted to do. And I also made sure that I waited just in case they had dead hard. You know what I'm saying? You need to be mindful that they can always have dead hard, unless they've already like used lithe or balance or something like that. They won't be able to activate it. But in the scenario that they didn't have it or whatever have you, just in case. And so in my opinion, it is a little bit better to be paranoid that they have it, and then than to assume they never do and then end up having to go through multiple endurances throughout a match, which can cost you very heavily on a character like this that is very M1 focused. So I decided to break the gen here just for some more regression, and I decide to sort of fake the window there. It does kind of catch her off guard there. She does end up just kind of flying off, so we do have our Spirit Fury active just in case she does reach a pallet. I don't know if that was a window fake of some kind, but I just waited it out just in case. It is best to be patient in an instance like that. And we look up just in case of a flashbang, because the flashbangs have been a bit bugged, unfortunately, so that can be a little bit detrimental for you as a killer player. Now, we do get the M1. I figured that she was going to try to drop, she was going to finish a gen, tries to drop the flashbang. I just dodge it. I tried to lunge to get the Michaela down, but unfortunately the aim assist had latched onto the Jill. So she's trying to use her endurance to body block. We just waited out. I tried to go for the lunge there. I don't know if she still had like mobility from the unhook. So we just get the down on Jill. We leave her there anyway. And then I continue to go and try to find the Michaela. Now, I did record this gameplay on stream, so if you do want to watch me play Ghostface, Freddy, or other characters on stream, you can either join the Discord, get notifications that way, or hit the noti bell on YouTube. I also stream on Twitch as well as YouTube, so if you want to stay tuned for that, I'll have that in the description. Also for ways to support the channel. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this so far, you know. We're going to go ahead and move forward and try to see where the Michaela was, which you can see was hiding in a locker, decided to give up, hilariously enough. So now we're just going ahead and going to hook the Jill. So hopefully you guys have learned something watching this video. If you are starting out with Ghostface or anything like that, hopefully you maybe learned something, and hopefully you've enjoyed it up to this point, man. You know, and if you are starting out with Ghostface, hopefully this can be very educational for you. Maybe if you're more familiar with Ghostface, maybe this can help you maybe learn something, or kind of get an idea of how I played him. You know, try to, if you want to stay tuned for more educational content like this for Ghostface or other killers like that, hit that subscribe button. You know, you can be able to see more videos like this. We have more coming in the future. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Get a nice little Mori going on too. So thank you all for being here. Yeah, man. Want to see more like this? Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment. Did you learn something? What do you think of Ghostface? You know, did you like the video? Stuff like that, you know. And there's the builds right there on the screen. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.